Hello, Kasim. Hello, Evie. How are you guys doing? Apologize. Just give me 1 second here and I will be right with you. uh, Sorry, guys. Okay. Hello, IA Warrior. What does IA stand for? I'm curious. IA. Hello, Ibrima. These lives are always so late. Damn. Well, that depends on your time zone. Where in the world are you, Ibrima? Max1653. Hello. Hello. Level 8. Hello. Philip Gilliam. Hi. I hope your evening is delightful. I wouldn't necessarily say delightful, Philip, but thank you so much for the well wishes. So, what about yours, Philip? The Dawn of Light. Hey. Hello. Andrei Kitsenko says, "What is a woman?" Wow, that one's like so deep. I don't even know how to answer that. What would you guys say? What is a woman? And I'm really scared what you guys are going to say. I bet it's going to be truly horrible, but let's hear it. Max1653 says, "I have bad news." Uh-oh. Oh no, what is it? Did you get like rejected from a college today? Early decision? Ibrima says, "Well, I'm in." Evie says, "What's the emergency about today?" It's about your emergencies, guys. Do you have an emergency? If so, the doctor is in. Ibrima says, "Well, I'm in London, so it's 3 a.m. for me." Oh, wow, Ibrima, what are you doing up at 3 a.m.? Hey, John Paradise, hello. Hello, John Paradise. How are you doing? Tig Smith. Oh, my old standby Tig Smith. How are you doing today? What? We got a super chat. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Thank you so much, Scrimmim. He says, "I am once again paying you to keep this up so I can watch when I get back from work." Okay, Scrimbim. All right. I'll do it. Okay, I'll try not to say anything too crazy on this live, although I'll try to keep it, in the sweet spot of good juicy stuff, but not so crazy that I'm like, I have to take this down immediately so I can keep it up for you, Scrimbim. Thank you so much for your super chat, and I will heed your words and try to keep it up, okay? So, let me ask you, Scrimbim, what do you do for work? I'm curious because, like, where do you go when you're working? J Alpha Up says hi. Hello, J Alpha Up. Now, let me ask you, J Alpha, is that your real name, or did you decide to like advertise your alpha status? Not Joe says emergency. I'm turning 27. Well, you didn't say I'm, but turning 27. Lack experience. Do I hide that info on dates? Don't need an answer, just drunk throwing it out. Thanks. You know what, Not Joe? I wouldn't volunteer it, okay? If they really press you, you could say it, okay? But women don't want to be in the mother role, okay? They want to be in the princess daughter role, okay? So you don't necessarily want to say, "Guide me, mother." Do you know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily want to say, "Please take the lead, mistress." Okay, because that's kind of the way it could come off to them subconsciously. Okay, subconsciously they're gonna say, "Ooh, this guy even," and I don't even know what you mean by lack experience, like lack bedroom experience. In that case, you don't need to tell them. Okay, they're not gonna notice. That's another female blind spot. Okay, they're not gonna really know why you're not great or blowing their minds in bed. Plus, it's not going to be hard to blow their minds to bed if you take my advice, know where the clit is, okay? Make sure they have an orgasm that way. But I don't know. I wouldn't volunteer this, but tell me a little bit more what experience you lack, and then we could give you better advice. But hopefully you took something from what I was saying about why you don't want to just be 100% honest, transparent, vulnerable, tell them all about your struggles in dating, your research into the red pill and PUA, your failure there. You don't want to reveal that because it will make you look weak. Don't tap the glass. Let them believe you are the hypermasculine man of their dreams until proved otherwise, okay? Yeah, it's kind of like innocent until proven guilty, right? It's like you are the hypermasculine man of their dreams until proven otherwise. So don't ruin it right off the bat by telling him, I just got to get this off my chest. I lack experience. I'm a virgin. I don't know what to do in the bedroom. So please tell me what to do. It's not going to come off well. So, you know what I mean, not Joe? And I'm not saying knowing about the clit is the only thing that's going to make you good in the bedroom, but it is going to be a huge help. But, that's a topic for a whole nother question. We could go way more into detail on that. But that's the most important thing you need to know. Where is the clitoris? Because that is their sexual organ. So if you rub that, my lights turned out. Let me turn it back on. They will have an orgasm, and nothing else you do is really going to make that much of a difference besides that. So, okay, we're back in business. Alrighty. Now, let's go to the next one. Crowbar says, you help more than you know. Thank you, Crowbar. I'm curious to hear more if you want to explain more, but I appreciate that. That's a very nice, very, very nice compliment. So thank you so much. Whitebird says, oh, live. Correct. I am live. EV says, Victoria, my emergency is. I like how you guys are all coming to me with emergencies. That's great. This is awesome. Yes, we're in the emergency department right now. The ED for short. Yes, not the ER, the ED. Okay, so Victoria, my emergency is, how do women feel when you express how you get hypnotized in lust for them when they learn that you're a true lover of women's bodies and live for it? All right, Evie, interesting question. So, how do women feel when you express that you get hypnotized in lust for them? Well, now there's a slight distinction here. Are you just kind of sitting on the couch being like, oh, by the way, I get hypnotized in lust for women's bodies? Or are you showing, not telling? Do you know what I mean? Are you literally like, oh my God, you're so fucking sexy. Let me look at you. Oh my God, your body, your breasts, your stomach, your butt, it's incredible. Oh, I just want to grab it. Are you demonstrating your your hypnotic state in lust? Or are you just talking about it? Okay, because then they'll feel two separate ways, right? If you're actually literally hypnotized in lust for them, they're going to start feeling good. They're going to start feeling like I am safe to let my true sexuality emerge. I'm safe because I'm getting all positive feedback. I have a receptive audience. Okay. So it's kind of like, if everyone's cheering for you, you might start hamming it up a little. You might feel safe to just be like, I can't lose here. I can't make a mistake. It makes you feel safe to start expressing yourself as the woman more sexually. So this is a big mistake that a lot of guys make because, they're very afraid often to give kind of like, maybe they'll give a compliment like, oh, you're cute, or, you're good looking, or you're a good looking girl, or something like that. But they're not taking it to this extreme in the right time and place, which is, in a makeout, maybe on the bed when you're about to have sex. and you could do it a little before, but this is like a good time for that, right? Of just really just expressing how truly sexy you think they are, and honestly saying that. A lot of guys are scared of that because, like, oh no, she'll know just how like low value I feel. Okay, but then they don't they miss out on the opportunity to make the woman feel like super sexy. Okay, so it's a mistake, in my opinion. And the woman will start feeling very good, very like, let me change, let me act a little different, let me be more free, let me express myself a little more, let me talk dirty. He loves it. What have I got to lose? So I think that's a lot of how it is, you know? And just from a woman's perspective, you know, when you feel your sexuality, your sexual energy, it's an amazing feeling. Okay. It feels like you're a god, a goddess, or a god. Okay. It feels like you're possessed with divine knowledge in a way of how to turn on the man. So it just is like this virtuous circle where the more you tell her she's sexy, the more she feels sexy, and the more she acts sexy, and the more you think she's sexy, and it just works. So, yeah. So then Liam O'Donovan says dating is way overrated. Why is that, Liam? Tell us more. Tell us more. Hazel Yokuji, my emergency. All right, Hazel, let's get to your emergency. My friend introduced me to a girl that is totally my type. Problem is, I can't simply flirt with her in front of my friend. I also can't be friendly with her because she will friend zone. Okay, so why can't you flirt with her? Is she dating your friend and it's kind of like bro code? Or are you just embarrassed to flirt with her in front of your friend? Could you get her number and flirt with her over text? Um, is she dating your friend? I'd like to help you with your emergency, Hazel, but I just need to know more because I'm not really fully understanding why you cannot flirt with her in front of your friend. But yeah, I mean, at least make up some excuse to get her to exchange numbers, and then you can meet up with her without your friend, and you can text her without your friend at the very least. So let me know more, Hazel. J Alpha Up says, no, I am a techie. Oh, okay, I see, Jay. So John Paradise says, don't most of the live streams remain up? Well, here's the secret of this channel, John Paradise. No, not all of them do remain up. Sometimes I just decide I don't want this up. I'm taking it down. So yeah, there's a lot of secret live streams. So you gotta be on top of it if you want to see them all. Which I don't suggest you guys do because no one needs to see that many of my live streams. But anyway. So Max1653. The bad news. Testosterone is down 2/3 since 1989. Sperm is down 50%. A new condition called phthalate syndrome has appeared. The males are incompletely masculinized, says Shauna Swan. Uh-oh. What do you guys think about that? And who is Shauna Swan? And what's her motive? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure I've heard this kind of thing too, so I believe it. Liam O'Donovan says, I am a lot older than that, no experience, and don't want to experience any of it. Liam, I'm calling BS. I don't know. Okay, maybe you're like asexual, and maybe you're just really opting out, but come on. Come on. Like, really? You don't want to date? You don't want to have sex? You don't want to have somebody worship you? You don't want to have any affection? You don't want to experience like any of the fun that can come from, the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever. Come on now. I just don't buy it. I feel like it's an excuse. Am I right? Or are you just asexual or something? Or are you just like, It's not worth it. I'm rock bottom here. I don't know, Liam, but it is worth it, in my opinion. I know I'm not you, but come on. Let's be real. Ask yourself this, Liam. Is it just an excuse? Is it just a cope, as they say? And ask yourself this, why are you here on an emergency dating Q&A if you really mean it, Liam? Search inside yourself. And if you're telling me I'm wrong, then I'll just have to believe you on that. Throw away. Okay, you ask a good question. How do I stop feeling rapey when leading / escalating with women? Okay, throwaway. It's an important, very important question. Okay, but I need to know kind of like what you're doing, because I mean, you could feel rapey and all you're doing is like kissing her without asking her first. Okay, that's not rapey. Okay, so you could feel like it, or you could actually be really overstepping things, making like huge leaps. So, can you give me a specific example, throwaway 18, of like, this is what you did, and then this is how she reacted, and this is how you felt? You know what I mean? In a specific moment, I feel like that would help. So, because, yeah, I mean, I know this is like maybe even like the problem is like, I've phrased it different ways, like jumping over the chasm of creepiness, right? But it's just, how do you stop feeling like a sexually disgusting, like sexual predator or something, when you're just doing what men are expected to do in dating, is what I'm getting from your question. So yeah, let's just hear a little more about the situation, throwaway. Because you are gonna have to step up, so you don't actually have to, but you're kind of gonna have to. So. Some guys get away with just asking for explicit verbal consent, I guess, but most guys do not. Inuyashasino says, so Andrew Tate is a good model of man? Oh no, he is not. In my opinion, he is definitely not. Do not model yourself after Andrew Tate. So, Titlan says, how can you tell a girl from work likes you or not without making it weird or scare them? Okay. Well, can you make conversation with her and kind of start like flirting, bantering, laughing? Um, I mean, I don't think this is the right question to ask. Like, I get this on so many lives. It's always the question of, the green light fallacy. It's like, how can you tell if she likes you? Okay, you're not always going to be able to tell. All right, you can't rely on, oh, nice. I read the male version of Cosmopolitan magazine like back in the day, and I saw there was 10 signs and signals that a girl likes you with 100% certainty, and if she's showing those signs, then with 100% certainty, she will never reject you. It will never be weird, and you will never scare them. It will never be awkward. You will remain a good guy, certified TM for life. Okay? Now, like, it's might be a little weird. You might scare them a little bit. It might be a little awkward, but this is a risk that every single guy who's successful with women is willing to take, and you're not. Okay? So that's going to hold you back forever. If you are so afraid of making it weird, scaring them, and you don't know how to handle making it weird, which is just like, oh my God, I totally misread that. My bad. You're beautiful though. And then just act like you're friends again. Okay, that's a fine way of handling it, okay? It was a little awkward for a second, then you made it not weird, and you're back to being friends. So, there's no way around this. Like, please don't fall into the green light fallacy and just be like an anonymous person I got an email from today, and he's not one of a kind. There's literally thousands of guys on my channel saying this every single day. Like, I also want to make one of those YouTube videos where it's like, you know, when they take comments and they just go, and the whole screen is filled with like the exact same comment. And this comment would be, they will put you in jail for asking a woman out. No, they will not. It's an excuse. It's a lie. Don't buy into it. You're going to have to make it weird, scare them, make it awkward, be creepy sometimes, and that's okay. Just de-escalate it after the fact by saying what I said, and you're good, okay? Please, there's no way around this. Unless you guys want to look smacks so hardcore that you look literally like a model or close to one, and then just maybe girls will start asking you out. Maybe. Not all the time, but it would definitely be happening more frequently. So you can take that approach. I wouldn't do it though, because ideally you want to do both. And once you're that good looking, you still want to not be afraid of making it weird, making it awkward, scaring them, and being creepy. You know what I mean, guys? So what do you guys say? Hello, Optic Racer. So Mr. G says, how can you tell me the best way to initiate touch? Okay. In my opinion, Mr. G, the best way to initiate touch is to make some kind of plausible excuse, okay? Like, you're in a crowded hallway, okay, like at a bar at a date, right? And you put your hand on her waist to kind of like guide her. That's appropriate, expected physical touch on the date. And you have the plausible excuse of, oh, we were in like this crowded thing, this crowded hall, so I'm just keeping her safe. You know what I'm saying? Then another good thing to do is like, tons of guys did this on dates with me, okay? It's just, I guess they must have learned it's a pickup thing. You'd be like, oh, yo, I'm a palm reader. Okay, let me look at your palm. See, you're making up an excuse to read her palm. I mean, it's not like you're lying. It's a fun excuse. And she probably even knows what you're doing. And she's okay with it because she expects you to be escalating the date in these small little ways. So she's going to be, let's see what he's got. Okay, he wants to pretend to be a palm reader. I'm going to play along. So, palm reading. That's a good way to do it. A guy I did a consultation with, he thought of a great one, okay? Shout out to this guy. You know who you are if you're on here. I hope you are. A girl had a scrunchie on her wrist, okay? And he was like, oh, that's a nice scrunchie you had. And he just used that as an excuse to just kind of like touch her wrist. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, I like that clip in your hair, okay? That's just an excuse to touch, you know, maybe brush her hair or something like that. Maybe that's for a little later on the runway, if you know what I mean. But the hand stuff is good for a first date, okay? Well, this stuff can all happen on first date, but I'm saying the hand stuff is good at the first part of the runway. That's what I mean, like at the beginning of a date, if you know what I mean. So it's stuff like that where you just have to kind of give a something like another way. A good thing to do is, and I told someone this in a consultation as well, say, oh, I want to show you this video on my phone. That's a good way to, let's say you're sitting across from each other, like on a table, you can get next to her and you can kind of like get closer and touch like arms and side bodies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking side by side at a phone. So there's little stuff like that that is a good way to initiate touch. Okay? Or like, you know, you guys could probably think of a million more from this point, right? So how does that land, Mr. G? Do you guys have any other good examples of that? But that's like the basic idea. So all right, yeah, I'm kind of not at the bottom of the chat. Because I'm just literally reading through all the messages. If you guys want me to answer your question, you can super chat me. Okay, that's a surefire way of me reading your question. But I was just kind of going chronologically down the chat. So, let's see. Wow, I'm missing like a lot of different questions because I'm not too far down the chat. Wow, so what should I do here? Should I just keep reading? Are the people whose questions I'm reading even like still in the chat? Let's see. So, not Joe says, thank you, thank you. I get what you're saying and probably would have made that mistake of acting like a boy rather than a man. Don't feel like sharing more. Thank you again. No problem, not Joe, if you're still here. Yeah. I'm getting many 100% here. Now, I'm not sure for what, but thank you guys for those 100%. Cyberlay, hello. So Alex741 says, what to do in bedroom to make a woman crave for you? Okay, Alex. First of all, baseline. Well, there might be something even before this, which is kind of controversial. I mean, first of all, okay, there's not necessarily a one size fits all. It's like, give her fantasy, and she can't get it from anyone else. She will crave for you. How do you know what her fantasy is? You have to find out what her fantasy is, okay? How can you do that? Well, you're going to have to start talking in the bedroom, okay? You're going to have to start dirty talking a little bit to push and see like what she's into. But I mean, a good bet is to do a little test out a little light dominance, okay? Light, Lite. And she was probably liking some of that. Light, though, being the key word. Another big thing, you can make her come. Most guys are not. Most guys are just assuming, oh, she came 100 times because she told me she came 100 times. She didn't. So just actually making sure she has an orgasm and she feels comfortable having an orgasm, whether orally, manually, psychologically, stimulating her, talking to her, dirty talking her, telling her fantasies. I mean, basically, most guys do not do anything besides pump and dump. Like, I hate saying that, but that's what you guys say all the time. But in other words, they are just so excited to be there. They are sticking it in, they are coming, and they are taking it out. So, I mean, if you do more than that, if you actually dirty talk, I mean, not every woman is into it, but a lot of them are. If you actually try to make her come, if you actually try to find out some of her fantasies, like, you are going to be so far and away above most guys, like, you don't even understand. Like, you guys just have no idea. I mean, most guys, they're pretty vanilla. They're just not thinking there. They're just like, well, they have like a male gaze version of sex. They have just, well, she should come by me doing what I like. Okay. So do a little bit of studying. She's going to crave you because most guys are not doing that. Okay. Especially the chads. They're not doing it. So anyway, I could have answered a little bit better, but I got a super chat here. Cyber LA, thank you so much. Thank you very much for your very generous super chat. And he says, is it true that girls will sneak check out a guy's package? Maybe they want to know if he has anything down there. Seems that they glance sometimes, but not sure. Okay, so this is a good question. All right. First of all, in my opinion, yes, but also no. Okay, it's complicated because will a woman sometimes look? Yes, because I've had lots of friends point out to me like, oh my gosh, like, look at this guy's package or whatever. And we'll laugh because we'll be like, oh my gosh, it's like really big or something. Okay, this doesn't happen all the time because like for most girls, in my opinion, or I don't know if it's most or just half and half or whatever, but for many girls, I should say, it's impossible to understand what's in the package when it's in the jeans or the pants. It's very confusing. It just looks like a large like lump or whatever. So it's impossible to tell like if it's long, if it's short, like if it's big, if it's small, it's all like mixed up in there. Okay? So they can't really tell that much. Okay? If the guy is wearing like really tight jeans, they might check it out. But it's more like as a humorous thing. It's not like they're thinking like, "Oh, wow, he's got a really big dick. I can tell. I definitely want to fuck this guy." So it's not like I feel like you guys are thinking, but it might be more of like a thing to laugh about with your girlfriends. Okay? But not laughing at you, but just kind of like it's not like they're making fun of you, but they're laughing about it like, haha, he's got a really big dick or whatever. So, yeah. And seems that they glance sometimes. Yes, okay. It's kind of hard sometimes not to glance because it's like that you shouldn't. Okay. It's probably like how guys feel about breasts sometimes, but they just like don't care. But it's like it's hard not to look, right? That's sometimes how it is with like a guy's package. You just find yourself staring. They're like, oh fuck, I'm staring. I gotta look up. But you don't really know what's in there. You can't really tell much. Okay. I've never like been able to tell. Some girls supposedly can, okay, but it's complicated in there. It's just there's this, and it's like, is that the pleat of the pants or the crease? Okay, unless you're like literally feeling it and like, okay, like got it. It's not that easy. So yes and no. Okay, they are going to be looking sometimes, but does it necessarily mean what you guys all want it to mean, which is like, oh, if I have a big dick, then like I'm set for life. Woo! Yes, because so many girls will just want to jump on it because I've got that horse D. Yay! Not necessarily, guys. So, like I said, refer to the blind spot I talked about in my blind spot video, male sexuality versus female sexuality. The dick size is going to loom much larger in the guy's head. Okay, that's not to say girls don't like big dicks, or some girls don't like big dicks. They do, but it's not going to be when they're thinking about like what made sex good. It's not going to be, well, his dick was big. Okay, because a lot of guys have big dicks and they're not good in bed. They're not good. The girl doesn't even orgasm. Bare minimum, she doesn't even have an orgasm. That's bad. That's real bad. Even if he has a big dick, like, who the fuck cares, okay? Because you don't even have a fucking orgasm. So, anyway. Cyber does that help? Does that make sense? Let me know, Cyber I'm looking for Cyber comments, but 101 interview says, you are so freaky, lol. Yes, I am. I am a freak. Eunice 290 says, do women view age differently than men? Men have a biological preference for fertility in women. Male fertility does not stop in the same way. Actually, it does. Male fertility declines a lot. Okay? It definitely declines. It doesn't stop totally because of IVF or whatever. They could like literally take a microscope and like pick out your one sperm. Okay? But yeah, it definitely is going down. Okay? Greatly. And yeah, women like attractive young men too. Okay, I think they're just there's kind of like more taboos about it. All right, so the Pope, thank you so much for your super chat, the Pope. I really appreciate it. He says, 6 inches is more than enough. It will be for some. But the Pope, if you guys are, let me just say this, the Pope, okay? If you're just focusing on the size of the dick, it's like you're missing the point. I'm trying to think of like a good analogy, okay? But it's just like, if you literally think that the thing that's giving the woman the most pleasure is the length that's hitting like the cervix, it's just, you don't have your head in a game. Like, you're not understanding what sex is about for women. Okay? There's like the vaginal canal, right? And then up here's like the vaginal canal. Then here's like the clitoris up here. So this might be just like barely tugging on like the clitoris, but if you just literally go like this, it's like a girl grabbing your dick, like the head of your dick. Okay, so what do you think is going to give her more pleasure? This, which is what 90, like 7% of women do when they masturbate by themselves and have an orgasm every time. This versus this. And it's just a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. Okay, think about that. Think about that. The clitoris, guys. Remember it. Remember the name and never forget it. So, yeah, that's the thing. It's like the dick size, it can be cool. It can be good. I like it. Okay. But is it everything? Is it even in like the top 3? No. It's 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 good. It's definitely very good if you have a big dick or whatever. But you could be a fucking amazing lover without a big dick, and the woman's going to be craving you and not be able to get enough of you because you're using the things that are actually have more firepower, more horsepower when it comes to a woman and what she likes sexually. Sexual fantasies, passion, compliments, sexual techniques even. Your individual chemistry. There's just a lot more to it than, whether you're a dom or not. It's more than just 6 inches versus 5 inches versus 7 inches versus 8 inches. And oh my God, this one guy had a 10 inch, so we're all screwed because no one can compare to that guy. Yeah, you can. So, Sean Bissell gave me a super chat and said, just a thanks. Thank you so much, Sean. I really appreciate that. And if you have any questions, John, please let me know because I will be looking, although I'm kind of behind in this chat. So, yeah. Hey, Frederic Andre, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Frederic. And hopefully I'm not missing your question, both Sean and Frederic, or Frederic, just overdoing it there. Sean sent me an email a few days ago and did not respond. Oh, Sean, I remember your email. I actually do remember your email, Sean. Yes, I absolutely loved your email. You gave me your idea for a novel. Yes, I know who you are. I just haven't responded yet, but I loved your email. Thank you, Sean. Sometimes I get a little behind on the emails, so I apologize for that, guys. All right, so let's see. What have I missed? All right, the Pope says, do you think all women have a spanking fantasy? The Pope, no, I do not. Okay. I think some women do. Perhaps even lots of women do. But do all women? No, I do not think that. Okay. There's certain people who are very into spanking. They call them spankos. Or they've got like spanko societies and everything. They're like obsessed with spanking. So those are the people who have like the real spanking fantasies. Might some women kind of like vaguely fantasize, like, yeah, that could be cool. Sure. But are some women like really into it? Of course. But do all women have a spanking fantasy? No. No. They might. You have to figure that out. Now, David Davidson, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, what do women mean by taking it slow? I'm talking to a girl and we want to take things slow. What does this mean? What time frame should I expect? Oh, fuck, dude. This is a great question. This is funny because, like, yeah, it's like confusing probably to a guy. Like, okay, take it slow. Like, why, how, when? Right. So, what do women mean by taking it slow? Okay. So, basically, David, what they mean is they're thinking with the female gaze, okay? They're thinking like, I want a long-term relationship. I do not want to do I dare say pump and dumped again? Oh my God, this is I feel like a man going their own way, but let me just say it. They don't want to get used, pumped and dumped. Oh God, I hate myself. By a man. Okay, so they're basically taking it slow means I am basically vetting you like in a multi-interview step process to see if you are long-term boyfriend and possibly husband material. Okay? I don't want to get too invested emotionally. I don't want to become too attached and then get my heart broken. That's what taking it slow means. I don't want to have sex too soon and then have the guy dump me and then be heartbroken because it's like, oh, I thought he really was into me and wanted to be my boyfriend and really liked me for me, and all he wanted to do was look at two circles in the triangle or whatever and have sex with it. So yes, that's what taking it slow means. Now, what time frame should I expect? Well, this can really vary because for some women, they're just going to say, oh, I just want to take it slow to kind of get you as a man to invest in the proper etiquette that makes the woman feel comfortable. So it's almost like a way to be in control of the way things are going. Like, for example, a lot of women, they want to be sexual with a guy, but they want to do it in their female gaze way. They want to do it in a way where they feel appreciated for who they are as a person. They feel respected. They feel safe. And by safe, I mean that you don't just take off all your clothes, expose like your body, your heart. You kind of feel like the guy's interested in a person, and then he just dump, wow, 1, 2, 3. I came. Did you? Oh, no, you didn't? Well, maybe next time. Bye. Okay, that's really painful for a girl. So by taking it slow, she's protecting herself. She's thinking, maybe if I string this guy along long enough, he will actually like me as a person. And by the time we have sex, he'll be so invested in me as kind of a friend that when we actually have sex, he won't just leave me the day after and stop talking to me and ghost me. Okay? So that's what taking it slow means. It's like protecting your heart from getting broken by a guy who just wants casual sex. And as a girl, they don't really understand this about women. This is like a huge they don't understand this about men. It's a huge female blind spot. They don't understand men just want casual sex. So when men do have like sex with them and then ghost them, it's very heartbreaking. They're like, what did I do wrong? Why wasn't I good enough? Why wasn't I hot enough? Why wasn't I interesting enough? Why wasn't I successful enough? Why wasn't I funny enough? They don't understand this guy only wanted to have sex with you and that's it. They don't get that. So they're reeling from the experience. Okay, so does that make sense? So by taking it slow, they're thinking, that's how I get a relationship. That's how does it make sense, dude? All right, thank you so much for your super chat again. And I feel like I missed someone's super chat and I'm looking for it now. Damn it. I'm trying to find your super chat because I saw it and then hopefully you didn't like retract it. Oh, here we go. Curves. Thank you so much, Curves. He says, I appreciate you. Keep it you. Thank you, Curves. I appreciate you. And if you have any questions, Curves, let me know because I'm trying to find it, but there's a lot happening in the chat. So, oh, David Davidson says, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Wonderful, David. Oh, and I forgot to answer one more thing about your question. The time frame, right? Okay. It could be different because like I was saying, on the one hand, she could kind of just be like, this is what I was trying to explain to you, David. All right, sorry, I lost my train of thought, I guess. But some women, let's say they want to be really sexual with you, but they want to feel safe first in the way I was saying. So they'll say, oh, I like to take it slow. Okay, I want to take it slow. I'm not that kind of girl. Just so they can kind of take it at their own pace rather than get sucked into your pace, which is just like, let's have sex now. But then some women, they actually are more they're more like Christian, they're more religious, Muslim, who knows, okay? Where it's I don't know if Muslim people would even be having sex like that. I don't know. Maybe you guys can educate me on that. But they might really be wanting to take a long, long time. And in that case, you kind of have to say, is this worth it? Do I want to be in a long-term relationship with them? So it could be really slow. It could be like months and months. So make your own decision there. What's right for you? So, hey, look at that, Valhalla. Wonderful to see you again, Valhalla. Um, we just had a great chat. It was so fun. And, I actually want to do some interviewing on Valhalla because this guy has some great skills that I think you guys could all learn from. So, let's see what he says. Women make rules for betas and break rules for alphas. What do you want to be for her? That's deep, Valhalla. All right, so they make the rules for betas and they break the rules for alphas. That's a tough pill to swallow, guys. But Valhalla's probably right. So, yeah, let that one sink in. Let that one marinate. What do you want to be for her? Do you want to be beta? Do you want to be alpha? That's some tough love from Valhalla right there. That one's got me feeling some type of way. So, thank you so much, Valhalla. I really appreciate you. So, all right, guys. Who's next? Who's next? Oh, Valhalla says, Victoria, you have a blind spot. It's how men feel when you say take it slow. Okay, could you explain that, Valhalla? Could you elaborate on that? And let's see, I'm missing some comments of. All right, let's see what you said earlier. All right, well, sorry guys, the chat's a little hard for me to follow. I'm all discombobulated in the chat, but explain that one, Valhalla. Oh, and Valhalla says, listen to Victoria, guys. She's on the money. What can I say? So, let's see. All right, let me ask you guys this. All right, I'm gonna do a pop quiz. I'm doing a pop quiz. Everybody put away your books. Put away your red pill videos in about 100 tabs on your screen. Put away your books like Models by Mark Manson, the 3% Man. Put away, your poster of Andrew Tate in your bedroom. Just throw that in the trash. All right. Put away, your pictures of like, whoever you guys like these days, like, some model, like, I don't know. What girls are you guys into? I don't know. So anyway, put them all away because we're doing a quiz. Okay. We're taking Mini Zebra's question, best dirty talk lines, and I'm turning it back on you guys. All right. And I'm quizzing you all right now. And if you fail, I'm blocking you. Okay. That's it. You're never coming on this live again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But maybe I'm not. All right. So I want all of you guys in the chat. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. That's it. And I want you all to write your best dirty talk lines. Okay. And go. Your best dirty talk lines. And we'll go over them. We'll see if there's any actually good ones. All right. Go. Best dirty talk lines. Okay, let's get them in, guys. Come on. Are you beta or alpha? If you're alpha, you will write a dirty talk line in the chat. If you're beta, you will not, and that's facts. All right, we got some good ones in. All right, come on, guys. What's a good thing to say to a girl that's dirty? Any omegas, any sigmas, any omicron mens, any epsilon mens, get them in the chat. Any triple alpha men, any triple betas, get them in the chat. All right. I'm giving you guys extra time because I don't see enough dirty talk lines in the chat. Clara, is this a woman here? Get your dirty talk line in the chat. Or you can help me be the judge, Claire. And if there's any other women here, you can also judge with me and you can call me out. All right, guys, come on. Imagine the scene, all right? You got your perfect 10, 2 perfect circles, 1 perfect triangle. Okay, she's in front of you. You're turned on. What do you say to her to make her never forget you, the man of her dreams? All right, let's go. Let's get them in the chat. All right, guys, I think we got some good stuff. All right. Okay, guys, last 3 seconds for your dirty talk. Come on, spit it out. Just take a wild guess at it. Inhabit your abusive boyfriend. Role play just for a second. Be that Chad on the opposite side of the chasm of creepiness and get your lines in. We're done. Wait a second. Did I get a super chat? Oh, okay. So let's go through the lines and we will give y'all a little lesson on dirty talk. All right. Okay, guys, this is going to get dirty. So you guys ready for this? All right. So we're starting off with the bravest man of all. It's the key man himself, or Z man. That's the best of all the alpha, beta, gamma, sigma, delta, the key man. David Gonzalez with Bad Girl. I'm going to give that A-, David. Not bad, not too shabby. Very good, actually. Bad Girl. You're a bad girl. It's very good. It's a classic. It's good. You're such a bad girl. It's hot. It's good. Or are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Are you going to be a bad girl? Or are you going to be a good girl tonight? Which one's going to be? Bad or good? Both are good. Good girl's fucking hot. Bad girl's hot too. Which one does she want to be tonight? Bad or good? We'll see, right? Very good, David. You get an A-. Okay. John Paradise says, are those the clothes your mother laid out for you? Is that like from Seinfeld or something? I forgot that one, John Paradise. Very funny, very funny. Sean Bissell says, simply comment on what you're doing and feeling, stream of consciousness and honest. Well, Sean, I'm actually going to give you an A/A+ on that because that's true. That's what dirty talk is all about. You hit the nail on the head. That's important. However, I'm not going to give you an A+ because you kind of I kind of was hoping for something that just truly, like, you know, put it out there, Sean. What kind of stuff would you say? But yes, that's an important concept. Probably the most important concept, the most overlooked concept. I agree, Sean, 100%. So Jenny Osk says, "You're mine now." That's hot. Okay. I'm gonna give it an A minus. And the thing is about this line, okay, it can be really hot, but I feel like it has to come when you've really proved it. If you just say you're mine now, in her mind, she's thinking, "Why am I yours? You haven't done anything." It was not going to hit the right way. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're mine now. It can be really good, but save it for the climax of something where she really feels you dominated her and she's submissive. So I'm giving that A minus, Genius. Very good. So, all right. We got some jokers. We got some class clowns, all right? To be expected, all right? We got sit down, tastes like my grand's peach cobbler. Ew! All right, let's get on to my star student, Mr. G. Nobody can touch you except me. I'm gonna give that a fucking A plus, Mr. G. I'm impressed with that. It was very good. Nobody can touch you except me. See, that's the kind of good possessive energy they like in the bedroom. They want to be claimed. You know what I mean? So nobody can touch you except me. It's like a little bit toxic, right? It's like jealous, possessive, controlling. Perfect line for your abusive boyfriend role play. Role play, guys, for fun and pleasure only with someone who wants it. And please do not do actual abuse. I'm just talking about being that tough guy, okay? So nobody can touch you except me. I'm gonna freaking A plus, Mr. G. Very, very good. Crossroads and Cat says, "Who's my B hutch?" B hutch. Really, Crossroads. Well, I'm gonna give it an A minus. It's very good. Okay, it can be very good. Said the right way, it's good. You guys are doing well, all right? Dennis Bond says, "I can't wait till you get home. I'm meeting you at the car and taking you there." I'm gonna give it for sure an A minus, if not an A, Dennis Bonds. It's good. It's very good, actually. Okay. The only thing I don't like about it, and this could be different for different women. Some women are more comfortable with different kinds of like language, like taking you. It's a little just like almost like it seems like you're shy about saying like fucking you or something. But maybe for the woman you're talking to, like that would just be too much for her. So maybe it's the perfect thing. But that's very good, Dennis. It's hot. Very hot. Very good. Um okay, David Davidson, he's giving me a super chat, and I'm gonna pause the quiz really quickly, but this is a great quiz. David, thank you so much for your super chat, okay? I really appreciate that. So he says, what do you say women value more, talk or touch? I am really nonverbal in the bedroom. I like to show, not speak. What advice do you have for me? Well, dude, some women don't like to talk in the bedroom either, okay? But a lot of women will appreciate it, okay? It's going to be good. So I would, you're fine, you're good. You can be an amazing lover without talk. I mean, personally, I wouldn't love it, but for some people, I'm sure you can be. Okay, but I would just listen to the quiz and try to pick up some tips about dirty talk, because dirty talk is like going to take it next level. Um, and I used to be really afraid of dirty talk too. Okay, I just like, oh, I have to say the same ridiculous things they're saying in porn. You don't. Okay, it's like what Sean said earlier. It's more about just describing and expressing what you're feeling. But the advice I do have for you, David, is to learn. Okay, maybe you're not going to start dirty talking right away, but just start adding it to your toolbox. Start picking up some tips, because for me, I could not be with a guy. I'm not saying you necessarily would want to be with a girl who is obsessed with dirty talk, but I could not be with a guy who is not dirty talking. It was just being not fun at all for me in the bedroom. That's, in my opinion, the most fun part of sex. one of the most fun, okay, because it brings the creativity into sex. It brings the excitement, the role play, the fantasy, the psychology, the passion. So it's really important. So I would just start picking up the skill set, okay? Thank you so much, David. But, it's not going to make or break you. It might, but not yet, okay? I don't think you have to be super worried yet, but it's very important. So, all right, let's go back to our dirty talk quiz. So Claire says, this is so good. So Tyke says, would you submit to a man whose judgment you trusted? Tyke, I think this is a mistake. I'm going to give this I'm going to have to truth bomb you, Tyke. I'm going to give it a D. Okay? Because, and this is something I picked up from a really interesting conversation I had with a guy on my channel. Okay? And this is what he said. Okay? He had been like full-time PUA pickup artist for 2 years, full-time. Okay, and he said something really interesting to me, which I agree with. Something like this is kind of telegraphing to a woman that you kind of don't understand women. Because would you submit to a man whose judgment you trusted? I mean, that's kind of the female gaze for you. It's like, yeah, duh. Like if this perfect fantasy dom came along, of course I'd want to submit in the bedroom. So I guess you don't understand that. You don't understand that basically, I'm not going to say all, but most women would be happy to have that kind of sexual experience, like in the bedroom with the guy whose judgment they really, really honestly trusted. So, hold on one second. So it's kind of telegraphing, like, I don't understand women. You know what I mean? Which I understand, like, the impulse, because it's like, you're like, I want to get consent. Like, I want to make sure you're into this. But it's not the best. So just give me 1 second here. All right. Frederick, thank you so much for your super chat. And he says, no matter what you say, it has to feel like it's you, not like a role you're taking. P.S. My chats are not visible. Let me know if I'm banned for some reason. Okay, you're definitely not banned. And I apologize because sometimes YouTube, if you say something too sexual, it will retract it. Like I'll see all these things, message retracted. And I'm not doing that. That's YouTube, I guess, censoring people. But let's see. So no matter what you say, it has to feel like it's you, not like a role you're taking. You know, I'm torn on this, Frederick, because like I agree with you, I think, but I'm not sure because it's like, well, it depends really like how you're defining like the role and feeling like you. You know what I mean? Because if you're like method acting, you're feeling like you, but you're also playing a role. So I think I definitely agree with what you're saying, and I'm sure if we actually talked this out in person, we'd agree, Frederick, because it's like kind of like what I was saying before about, if you just try to imitate what you hear in porn, it's not going to be you. And yeah, that's a huge mistake and it will just freeze up anyone. And you won't be able to dirty talk. So I agree that it has to feel like it's coming from literally you. At the same time, for example, like my boyfriend, he says he taps into his instincts. So maybe it is what you're saying. But at the same time, he kind of has different like roles he plays. But maybe he's truly tapping into a part of himself. So, yeah, I feel like it's just semantics, but I agree in general that it has to feel like you. I mean, that's how it's just kind of similar for me because, like, I feel it is me, but it's also different than me because I'm just feeling totally free to. I'm not playing a role, but it's almost as if I am playing a role because it's like, yeah, it's like, is it a role or is it me? I don't know. But let's just let everybody have your advice sink in because it's probably fantastic advice. What do you think, Frederick? Do you know what I'm saying? Or say more about it so we can all learn from you. So thank you so much again, Frederick. And then in the void, thank you so much. I really appreciate your super chat. And let me know in the void, or sorry, into the void, if you have any questions that I missed. But I really appreciate your very generous super chat. Thank you. All right, so let's go back to the dirty talk quiz. Oh, Valhalla says bullshit, take a roll. Okay, that's a strong opinion. Yeah. Okay, Valhalla. So when you're doing it, you're taking a roll. That's interesting. Yeah, because I was kind of torn. I'm like, is it a roll or is it not a roll? But I agree, like, it's hard to say. So I like that you're saying you take a roll. Yeah, I like that. It's good. All right. So should we go back to the quiz? Should we go back to the dirty talk quiz? All right, guys. Jay says, on your knees, bad girl. Now, Jay, I'm going to give this a B, okay? Because it's not terrible, but it's not great because it's like on your knees is good, but then combining with on your knees, bad girl, it's like, okay, maybe you could pull it off if you said it, if you had the whole situation set up where you're literally punishing her for something. But it's just a little too like, don't just combine like also like those magnetic words where you like, just mix and match. Like you kind of want to be like having a storyline here. It's like, are you punishing her for something? Well, in that case, you'd say, you've been a bad girl, get on your knees or something like that. But on your knees, bad girl. It's just kind of seems like just copy and paste on your knees and bad girl mishmash together. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not terrible, Jay. I'm sure like some girls would be like, yeah, that's hot. Okay, but it's just not fantastic. So I'm giving you a B. And hopefully you don't report me to the principal or anything like that. So David Gonzalez says, I just want to be your Sigma. Wow. Wow, David. Really? David? Wow. Wow. I'm not even going to grade that. I'm just going to give that the incomplete, David, with a big red marker. Not Joe says, hey, girl, you thirsty or both? You get an F, not Joe. And I know you're joking. But you failed at the same time. But don't worry, not Joe. Try again. Try again. Frederick Andre says, beg me. I don't want tonight. Now, I'm not sure what this I don't want tonight is, but beg me is pretty good. It's very good, especially combined with a little bit of bratting back and forth. Beg me, and then maybe she doesn't want to, and then you say like you're like kind of make her. It's like beg me, make me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give this for sure a B plus, Frederick. For sure a B plus. Kasim says, let that coochie breathe, hands on your knees. So is this like the line from a song or something? Kasim, I'm gonna give this an F, but I know you're joking. So all right, so Eunice says, wow, you feel amazing. Now, Eunice, this is interesting because I agree it's good, but I'll tell you something, Eunice. It's verging a little on submissive dirty talk, okay? Which I feel like you kind of want to lean more towards the dominant dirty talk. You can definitely throw in some stuff like that. Oh my God, you feel amazing. Yeah, it's good. Okay, I'm definitely going to give it a B, maybe even B plus. Okay, but when you're talking about like how you feel, it's almost like putting you in the submissive role in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you're not saying like it's kind of just like you're making yourself the subject. So that can kind of put you in the submissive role. I'm not saying don't do it because it can still be really good. Kind of gives that like authentic, genuine vibe. But you just want to make sure not to rely on it so much that you're not doing any of the dominant stuff we're talking about in here. You know what I'm saying, Eunice? So I am giving you a B plus. All right, Tenok Titalan. I'm not even going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole as a vegan here. So Anna. We got a woman. We got a real live woman on the chat here. Amazing. Anna. See, she says, "Hi, Victoria. Is it okay to feel bored, disconnected, and even repulsed when having vanilla sex with a man? I just cannot anymore. If I am not dominated, I do not want it." Question from a woman. You know, Anna, it's absolutely okay because let's be real, vanilla sex is boring, especially if you are not getting your kinks scratched ever. You know, it's not just boring, it's like the hidden emotion, if you will. It's like the emotion of being unsatisfied is probably like propelling all these bored, disconnected, repulsed. It's kind of like you're saying, instead of literally telling the dude you're with, I don't want vanilla sex. I don't want to do this boring stuff. I want to fucking have submissive, crazy, dominant, fun, exciting role play sex or whatever you're into. Okay. But it's just like, instead of telling him, it's like your body is just, oh, I'm bored. I'm disconnected. I'm repulsed. Yeah, because you're not having the kind of sex you want. And for whatever reason, I don't know your exact situation. It seems like it's implied that you're not able to tell him, or he's not receptive to it or whatever, or he just can't do it for some reason. Tell me what it is, Anot, that he's not dominating you. Well, it's boring. It's really boring. I mean, what's more fun? Like, for me, I agree. If you're just having sex with the same guy over and over, and there's no kinky, interesting, psychological, fantasy, dirty talking, it's a little blah. It's a little like, when I went to my first concert ever and it was like the Beach Boys in like a gym auditorium or whatever. And there was only like one member of the Beach Boys left. It's just a little like, all right. Meanwhile, you could be having like fucking crazy sex. So, what's more fun? I mean, is it you? No, it's not you, Anna. So, let's see if Anna said more about that. All right, so let's continue to the dirty track chat. M says, "It is criminal how great seeing you makes me feel." It is criminal how great seeing you makes me feel. I'm gonna give this a C, okay? Because it's very vanilla, it's very watered down, it's very blah, it's very nice guy, it's very beta in a way. It's good, but this is more good. First of all, it's a little bit like of the submissive vibe because it's like how I feel. Okay? Just a tad. It's good. This would be good on like a date or something with a girl you're really, really into and she already likes you. But in the bedroom as dirty talk, it's just a little bland. It's a little watered down. It's criminal how great seeing you makes me feel. Gosh gee willikers. Golly gee. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little 1950s house husband or something. Let's get a little more dirty, Em. Let's add some spice. Let's add some peppers like everyone in the chat is doing. So what do you think, Em? 29 Crypto says, "Let's go back to my place and you can glaze my face like a donut." I don't like it, 29 Crypto. I mean, I don't know if this was just a joke or not, but I don't like it because it's like, this is very like male blind spot. This is very like, and of course, you will want to, like, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I'm actually giving us D minus 29 Crypto, if not F. No, really, I should give it an F. Okay, I shouldn't stop with the BS and I should just truth bomb you. It's an F, okay? Because you never want to say, let's go back to my place and fuck. Well, okay, you can. But it's better to make kind of an excuse, a plausible excuse why you're at your place with a girl, because this could kind of like ruin it. This could kind of turn off. You're like, everything's going well, and then you're like, so shall we go back to my to my place and you can glaze my face like a donut, it's just might totally backfire. Because, like I've said to you guys in so many lives, women don't want to say, absolutely, I would love to fuck. I'm a complete slut with a large, just they don't want to admit to you, I love casual sex. I'm basically like a man. I basically got a dick and I love to have sex. It's so fun. That's taboo for women. Women are told that's very bad. Pretend you fucking hate sex. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Evan Wells 1. Hello. Evan Wells 1. Thank you so much for the super chat. Evan Wells 1. Appreciate you, Evan Wells 1. And if you have any questions, Evan Wells 1, that I'm not getting to, guys, if you have any questions, like, put them in the super chats because I'm kind of lost in this chat here. All right, but this dirty talk quiz is good, so I want to get through with it, and then I'll go back to the questions, okay, guys? So, but thanks again, Evan. So, level 8 says, keep your heels on and drop down for daddy. Level 8, I'm actually giving this, and you're probably going to be surprised, okay? I'm fucking giving it an A, all right? Because if she's into DDLG, if she's into, like, the whole daddy stuff, she's going to like it. It's a good one. It's an A. It's an A from me. Okay. Crazy says, sit on it. I actually like it. I'm giving it an A. It could be good. It could be very good. Kasim says, face down, ass up. Okay, I'm not sure if you're just quoting another song lyric or this is actually your real attempt at dirty talk, Kasim, because, it could be good, but it's lacking context, so I'm going to give it a B. Dream says, I want to camp in your backyard. Backyard. I'm giving you an A for humor, and I'm going to give you an F for real dirty talk. So Joe Duterte says, I tune in, the first thing I hear is this is going to get dirty. Yep, Joe. It's a dirty one tonight. So, yeah. So John Paradise says, I can't think of my guidelines because you're putting me on the spot. Normally they pour forth like body fluids. Good line. All right, John. Well, we'll do this another time in the chat, and hopefully you'll get in a good line there. So, okay, so you guys are telling me it was all from Seinfeld. Very good. Yeah, I've been catching up on my Seinfeld. I never really, I didn't grow up with a TV, so I never watched all the Seinfeld reruns. So Beardo is showing me a lot of Seinfeld because he's like basically he'll just explain the whole episode to me, and then he's like, here, watch it. So follow my logic says, I have a feeling you're on Santa's naughty list. Yes, I am. I'm definitely getting coal, and that's it. So let's see. I think we are done with our quiz. Guys. Very, very good. Joe Duterte says A minus equals a D in woman language. I don't agree, Joe, because a lot of the A minuses I was giving were very A minus. We're very A level. Like, they're good stuff. Like, you guys could learn from that. So, all right. Great quiz, guys. Valhalla says, Victoria on the money again. Gotta talk nasty AF. You really do. Am I wrong? Well, you're saying I'm not. So, yes. He says, once she respects you, dirty talk through sex. Yes. Valhalla gave me a great demonstration today of something that I really wished a lot of you guys could do, okay? And that's, he was not afraid to, how do I put this? Basically say crazy stuff like, I don't want, Valhalla, I wish you could just get on and excite, because I feel like the moment I kind of say how you were talking, they're just going to take it the wrong way, and they're going to be trying to be all abusive. So, I don't know. Should I say it? Should I truth bomb and say it? But if you guys saw the kind of things my boyfriend says, you would be like shocked. Like, literally, you would all be giving me the shocked emojis faces, the horrified scream emojis faces. and you'd all be up against the wall saying, "Oh no," because yeah, it's crazy, and that's what I want you guys to do. Okay, I want you guys to get there, but it's a tough chasm to jump, as I say, from nice guy to Chad. All right, David Davidson, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, "Don't you say that only wanting kicky sex attitude kind of objectifies men in a way? I think it's fine. I like stuff like that, spanking, choking, etc. That sounds like only women deserve romance." You know, David, you're absolutely right. Okay, like I'm not. First of all, not every single woman is kinky. Okay, I'm actually reading a book right now. Okay, and it's about the erotic blueprints. If you guys have heard of it, okay, and not everyone is like as kinky as me, okay? But a lot of women have, you know, a lot of kink in them too. But I'm not saying only women deserve romance and you couldn't find a woman who's not into kink and that men should be kinky. But I'm just kind of saying learn the skills, learn the kinky skills. I'm not saying you could never have kind of like deep emotional sex or energetic sex or do tantra because girls are into stuff like that too. A lot of girls, I'm sure, would love to get into tantra. I'd love to get into it if my boyfriend would be more kind of like into it. I mean, I've like told him about some books. I mean, I love the sex we have. It's very kinky and crazy, but a lot of girls are into more like spiritual sex, tantra. They'd be into trying it. I mean, that stuff in itself is a little kinky. Kinky can be a very broad thing. It really depends. Like in Tantra, they just say, "Oh, I am masculine presence. I am consciousness itself. I am the oak tree." Well, okay, you're being a dom in a subtle way. But people don't like to hear that, so they just say, "Oh, I am like consciousness itself." And a woman is a free flowing, like emotional, chaotic being or whatever. Okay, she's a sub, but whatever. Whatever you guys want to call it's fine, okay? But anyway, yes. Maybe I am objectifying men. What I mean, dude, maybe I went too far. I don't know. Because you're saying I said, don't you say that only wanting kinky sex attitude kind of objectifies men in a way. David, I think you're making a very good point, okay? Here's this thing, and this is like a female blind spot for you guys. Women are objectifying men. It's the hypermasculinity bias. You know what I mean? They are expecting you guys to be doms. So I'm kind of saying, give them what they want. You know what I'm saying? But does that mean it's right? And do I think they should kind of honestly, I think they should see through the hypermasculinity bias. I think they should understand the truth about men, what men really go through, what men really put into it to be the hypermasculine baseline, but they don't know. They just don't. So, do I think they should? I do. Absolutely, I do. It would be really helpful for them. It was very helpful for me. It would make their relationships better. It'd probably make everything better. So, I know you have a point, dude. And, I apologize for objectifying men, but I guess I'm just kind of saying that this is how it is, not how it should be. And at the same time, learn the skill set. And if you don't have it right now, that's cool. Just brush up on it in the background, I don't know. What do you think, David? Nani, welcome to the chat, Nani. Thank you so much for your super chat, for your support, as always, Nani. Now, and if you have any questions or comments, let me know. So, all right, guys, we got a lot in this chat. We got a lot of good discussion in this chat. Wait, Clara, a woman. Now, I'm just seeing if you said anything before this, Clara, that I can read to the class. but it doesn't look like you did. So I'm just going to read the last thing I saw, which is, yeah. And then Claire says, you defo need to gauge what a girl's into before saying a lot of this stuff. I say, like, if she's not into DDLG, for example, could be a major turnoff like that. You are completely correct, Clara. Yes, you are right. Okay. I guess I was kind of neglecting to mention that, but I'm thinking you're in the bed. Yeah. And Claire, let me ask you, what do you think is the best way, or rather, what would you like to hear a guy ask you to gauge what you're into? Like, for example, for me, I mean, you guys know how I am. I'm a little crazy, but I would just wanted to say, what are you into? What are your fantasies? Like during the makeout, start dirty talking and just basically asking me, what are you into? And maybe you can make some assumptions, and I'll just be like, no, I'm not into that or whatever. But what about you, Clara? What would you want? Paul says, I totally dig your passion for communication. Great energy tonight. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul. I've really went let loose in a way because, like, I honestly think that I've been getting so many annoying comments. Like, I say annoying, but you guys just don't even understand, like, the amount of craziness comments, like, I get on my channel. And I've kind of had to let go in a way. I've kind of had to just be like, whatever, okay? And not to say I do it perfectly. Like, sometimes I just really want to, like, lash out so bad. But I feel like it's kind of helped me in life, too, because I'm just kind of like, whatever. Whatever people think of me is whatever. So it's kind of helped me in that way. Just like, I had to let go a little. And actually, these lives really helped me with that. Like, this on a live was the first time, like, I ever let someone see me besides, like, my boyfriend or, like, my dad maybe, like, really angry. Like, I just held that in so much. But then, like, after I did that live and I got so angry, I, like, watched it back. I'm like, oh my God, like, that was okay. Like, people are still here. I acted so unlikable. People still came back. So, yeah, I think I've, like, let go a little bit. And you guys have really, really helped me with that. And that's unbelievable. Like, honestly, you guys have no idea how long I've been trying to come out of my shell, not be shy. My entire life, people have called me incredibly shy, like, literally, like, the shyest person they've ever met. Like, you never talk, like, you never say a word. Like, my freshman year in college, everyone there was this thing and they called it, like, basically everyone was making fun of each other at the end of the year in this game we were going around the room. And the way people imitated me and make fun of me is they just stood up and said nothing. It hurt my feelings so bad because I thought I was talking a lot, but they just still saw me as, like, the shyest person in the world. So, yeah, thank you, Paul, and thank you guys so much for helping me be myself and not so shy and not so inhibited, and for encouraging me to just let loose. So I really, honestly, deeply appreciate that, guys. The Juice Univalent says, we always here with you. That is really nice, the Juice. Very, very nice. Nani says, sucks for them not to know what a wonderful woman you are. Thank you so much, Nani. NSVO says, we appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Thank you, NSVO. Frederick says, amazing that you have trusted in yourself, my knowledge life. You were right. Thank you, Frederick. Cyber LA says, they said that about me too. Exactly. Are you serious, Cyber LA? Oh my God. Then you know what it feels like. Oh my God. I'm just, like, dripping in sweat thinking about it. Like, how embarrassing that was. Oh no. So, yeah. Sean says the comments can turn you into a dom. Oh, I love that. Anna says that is why you need to communicate like a lot. 100%, Anna. I agree with you. And yet Valhalla gives a conflicting opinion. If he has an alpha in her eyes, she will be fine with his dirty talk. Don't kill the vibe, ladies. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm torn, Valhalla, because I mean, they're both true. Maybe yours is risky, but there's a lot of truth in it, and now there's a lot of truth in that. So, I don't know. What do you think? What's better? Hey, Eric. What? Did I miss yours, Eric? Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate yours, Eric. Your super chat. I apologize for missing that. I'm just scrolling up the chat now, looking at everyone's comments. And Eric, if you have a question that I missed, just copy and paste it down below like 3 to 5 times, and I will find it again. Cyberella says, I'm serious. It was really bad. Cyberella, I freaking believe you. I believe you. Trust me. And Cyberella, I'm curious, were you a loner in high school as well? Like whenever I see a teen movie, I'm like, I was none of these people. I was the invisible person, literally the invisible man or woman. Oh my God, it was terrible. Like I recently listened to this podcast on popularity. It was really, really interesting. And they were talking about the different types of like popularity and likability. And there was a type that was like the first time I had ever seen myself described, where it was like, first there was like people who many people, like most people really like and barely anyone dislikes. And there's some people that like most people dislike and barely anyone likes. And then there's some people that they call them like the controversial, where they're either highly liked or highly disliked. And then there were some people, myself, that was like, no one likes them and no one dislikes them. That was like me. Like people just don't give a fuck about you. Like they don't even know you're there. They don't like you, they don't dislike you. They're like, well, what are you? So that's like shy people, right? Shy pride, right? Cyber LA. So it's terrible. Anyway. All right, whose question should I take next? There's just too much. I'm lost, guys. Let's see. If anyone wants their question answered, give me a super chat. I'm going to answer it. Hello, cameras everywhere. A new subscriber. Welcome. So, let's see. Well, Vinci says, I'm not able to break through the shyness of starting to cold approaching women. Any tips on that? I think going with a friend is always good. I mean, because at least then you can motivate each other, you know? It's like you kind of like peer pressure each other. The way I kind of did this, I mean, I know it's a little different for women than men, obviously, but I had my rejection club where I actually formed a meetup where we were doing rejection challenges, and part of those challenges were asking people out. So you could always do that. You could start your own rejection club, which was really, really valuable. One of the big ways I got over a lot of shyness. So yeah, I know what it feels like, Vinci. I know the fear. The very first time I had my meetup, the very first day, everyone peer pressured me to ask out a man. I didn't want to do it. I was very nervous. It ended up going comically wrong, but I did it. And yeah, I mean, then later, I don't think I'd have a problem with that now, but I'm kind of out of practice. So, but yeah, Vinci. Devraj gives me a compliment, so I will read it out loud to the class. Your candor is refreshing. I appreciate it. Thank you, Devraj. I appreciate that. And Frederick says, you're helping a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Frederick. And Steve says, I love your authenticity. Tell me more. Tell me more. No, Steve, thank you. I really appreciate it. So, all right, guys. I'm looking for a question here. Lovely says, where did you find a social anxiety coach? I'm also shy. Well, I know a couple really, really good ones. One, you could find her on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna type her name in the chat for you. She's really good. She was my first social anxiety coach, Marnie Penner. She's really good social anxiety show. Then I had my social skills coach, who was kind of like a social anxiety coach coming from a different perspective. But I'm not gonna recommend him because there's a lot that went wrong there, and I'm not gonna say more about that. But yeah, Marnie, she's really good. She's on Facebook. You could just like message her. She's amazing. I had my best friend go to her as well. And she really helped my best friend as well. So Cat Daddy Corn says shy pride. Absolutely. We need like a shy pride like signal or something, or a club, yeah, for sure. All right. Oh, level 8. Thank you so much, level 8. I also have a shy persona and had the same experience in high school. You mentioned before that you had an anxiety coach. Was it online or in-person therapy? Okay, level 8. So that makes me feel really good, knowing that you had the same experiences in high school. And honestly, like, I'll just say this really quick, like shy pride and all, like the more I connected with shy people, because I actually had my own social anxiety club, the rejection club. And so I started meeting and attracting more shy people. And I had never really met a lot of shy people before. I just felt like I was the only shy person in the world, basically. I know it's crazy, but I really like shy people. So they're very cool. But you have to like meet a whole bunch of them to know, in my opinion. But anyway, you mentioned before that you had an anxiety coach. Was it online or in-person therapy? So this coach I'm talking about, Marnie, she does it over the phone because she works with really shy people. And so she kind of knows that shy people get like shy when seeing themselves on video call and stuff. So it's really like more intimate over the phone. And it's really good. And she even does coaching like just over text for people who are like super shy. So yeah, it wasn't in person. I did get in-person coaching for my social anxiety. I did like an intensive therapy, like right when I graduated college, because I was just so shy. And I didn't like it. Okay, I didn't love it. At the time, I thought it was good, but looking back, it wasn't good. So I prefer Marnie a lot more. And here's the other thing. A lot of therapists, I'm sorry, they think they specialize in social anxiety or whatever, but they don't. Okay, they have no fucking clue what it is like to be shy. They barely know what social anxiety means. They do not have any like real life experience with it. And they just act as if they do, and it's really fucking annoying. I've had that experience a lot. I'm just like, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, basically. So I wouldn't trust just like normal therapists. Okay, because if you have social anxiety, you know, when you talk to people about social anxiety, they're like, what? What? Oh my God. Like, what? Why did you feel shy around me? Like, no, was it something I did? And you're just like, you don't get it. So, anyway, yeah, I'd recommend that person. Hedonese says, I used to have really bad social anxiety. Hedonese, how did you overcome it? Because you said, I used to. So, I'm curious. Valhalla says, cold approach is never easy, guys. Just try to push through the anxiety. Envision yourself being successful. Okay, I like good advice, Valhalla. Good advice. And Vinci says, is the change permanent? Now, I'm not sure who you're asking that to, Vinci, but if you're talking about like the change from doing like the rejection therapy, yeah, it's permanent. The only thing about anxiety is let's say it goes like 10 years, you could kind of start backsliding. You kind of have to keep in shape, but it's not like you're going to have to keep in shape like on the daily, but like after many, many years, you can kind of like your old habits can kind of like sink back in. And then you just need to do the exact same thing you did the first time to get rid of it. And he'll be gone again. All right, Blake Childress, thank you so much, Blake, for your super chat. And he says, what are some signs or giveaways that a shy girl is secretly into naughty stuff and being dominated? How can you tell she wants that early in the relationship without being a creep? Okay. Well, first of all, Blake, I feel like there's a little bit of a blind spot, not much, just small, okay? In that you're kind of, okay, it's like you're almost assuming like women don't have a sexuality because you're like, how can you tell if a girl is in to female gaze naughty stuff? It's like, well, is she asexual? Or does she have like a sexuality? Because if she has a sexuality, I mean, she's going to be into naughty stuff, whether she's shy or not. Being shy has absolutely nothing to fucking do with your sexuality. Like, you could be like a hypersexual freak, like myself or whatever, and be really shy. It has nothing, it just, people think, oh, like a girl who's like wearing a ton of makeup and she's all extroverted and flirty is going to have a high sex drive. Not necessarily. No, it really has nothing to do with that. So whether she's shy or extroverted, it doesn't have anything to do with how high her sex drive is. You know what I mean? So the fact that you're like, how could you tell if she's secretly into it? Well, it's like kind of assume that she's into basically the same stuff that a lot of other girls are into. And yeah, it's different. There's a range. It's not exactly the same. But if you look at like a romance novel, for example, I mean, when a woman reads a romance novel and it has naughty stuff and a little bit of light being dominated, we're all kind of like, yeah, that's fucking hot. That doesn't mean we want someone to just go all hardcore whips and chains on us, especially in the beginning when we don't even trust the dude or know the dude. But to kind of assume, oh, well, she could be into this naughty stuff and being dominated, or she could just be like a total vanilla, like starfish. I mean, she has a sexuality. I feel like guys kind of forget that a lot of times. They're like, oh, well, she's probably just into like a really nice guy. Is she? And yes, women are into the soft skills but they don't want the nice guy version that most guys imagine women want. Okay? Does that make sense, Blake? So, how can you tell she wants that early in the relationship without being a creep? Well, you have to talk about it. Especially with the shy girl, she's going to want you to really get to know her and understand her and give her a lot of like positive feedback and reassurance and be into her. I mean, these are things like shy people need. We're insecure about our personalities. So she needs that reassurance. That kind of like, God, you're so interesting. And I'm sure she'd love to talk about, the more you get to know her, what she's into, her fantasies. I mean, this is the kind of stuff like shy introverts enjoy talking about. Okay. Not everyone, guys, but a lot of them. All right. So, how can you tell what she wants without being a creep? Get to know her. Maybe even, you have to kind of like feel this out. Okay. I can't give you like a literal script, but start asking her questions about who she is, what she likes, what she's into. She'll start opening up more and more. And then it can kind of naturally start going into, some flirty topics are going to come up. Okay. And maybe if she mentions something like, you could be like, oh, are you into that? What else are you into? And then you can be reassuring, like, okay, like I would never judge you for that. I'm, into this a little bit myself as well. Here's like a clip of this scene I think is really hot in a movie. Do you have any clips? of scenes in TV shows or books or movies you find really hot. Like, you just discuss this. You don't just go right in necessarily with a shy girl. And I mean, it depends. Okay, it depends what the situation is. But if you're just kind of like getting to know her one on one, you can it can come up naturally. But I don't know. Maybe somebody else has some better advice for him. Like maybe let me get Valhalla's take, and let me get Clara's take, and let me get Anna's take. Clara and Anna, if they're still here, being two girls. So I want your take on this question. And Valhalla, what's your take? I mean, you maybe have a more in your face approach. What do you think? I'm curious. Clara says, reassurance for real. I'm a shy girl that hits. And Clara says, yes, so true. Yes. And I mean, Claire, I think like you and me, we're thinking of more a situation where it's like, a guy has your number and he acts like he's really into you and he's texting you and he's kind of trying to draw you out. He's trying to seduce you. He's trying to woo you. He's trying to be in a relationship with you. I mean, this is kind of like what we're probably both thinking of. And perhaps Valhalla is thinking of more like, you're at a bar and you're trying to like take her home. But yes, I agree with you, Clara. Like, if you really want to win this girl's heart, this is what we like. So, Clara says, talk to her, but make it smooth. It should come up naturally. You're so right. Oh, amazing, Clara. I'm glad you agree with me. Yeah. And Valhalla is saying women break rules for alphas and make rules for betas. Alphas are not seen as creepy. There's a lot of truth to that. Okay. Do you think alphas are never seen as creepy, Valhalla? Or is that putting it too strongly? Because I'm pretty sure, you know, an alpha could come across still as creepy. Or do you think that's a blind spot on my end? And do you think we'd never think an alpha is creepy? Or we'd never think a really good looking guy is creepy? I think we could still think that. But I'm curious. You think it's a blind spot? Okay. Well, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think back. I'm like, but, well, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's almost a matter of definition because, like, as soon as the guy is creepy, we kind of label him as beta. You know what I mean? So that's like a circular argument? So Head Annie says, I knew one girl in high school. She was in band, dressed modestly, and was very quiet. She ended up becoming a famous adult entertainer into very hardcore stuff. Well, I mean, that's a little like me in the sense that I was like that in high school. I mean, I wasn't in band or anything, but I was very, very quiet, like I was telling you guys, and I became a stripper. Probably a lot of people would be shocked, like, what the hell? But I think sometimes like having an intense sexuality can actually make you shy because you kind of feel like, oh, I've got this deep, dark secret. Like I'm very hypersexual. Like there's something wrong with me. And that can cause, in a certain personality type, a lot of shame. They could create shyness because you just feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me. I'm not normal. I'm not good enough. Like people wouldn't understand me. I can't connect with people. I'm not like other people. So it can sometimes create shyness even. A lot of kinky people, they're shy nerds. Explain that. Why is that? They're intelligent. They're introverted. They're interested in thinking deeply about things. I mean, these things kind of all cluster around shyness, Why is that? What do you guys think? So 1877 The Flip says, I haven't watched enough of your videos to know, but why are you providing so much information to us on these subjects? Do you have a brother that went through this or something? The 18 1877, there's like a lot of different reasons. actually, like, it's just like, where did it all begin? But it basically began when actually, due to my shyness. Because due to my shyness, I had to start the rejection club, which was my way to get over my shyness so that I could become a stripper, which was kind of like my way of dealing with a lot of, like, how do I say this? It's like, because I was invisible in high school, I wanted to, like, prove, and because I had this, like, very intense sexuality, I wanted to just, like, max out. It's like I wanted to just, like, be like looks maxed, sex maxed. I wanted to be like at the top of like the female hierarchy. Kind of like a lot of you guys, you want to like have that power. Like I wanted to have that power like as a woman. And I wanted to like have a safe space to kind of express my sexuality in a way and just explore my sexuality. But I was very shy. Okay. So in order to do that, I had to start this rejection club because I thought this would be a good way to get over my shyness. And that's actually how I did get over my shyness. And so then I started the rejection club later because I'm like, that worked. Okay, but then when I had this rejection club, I started attracting a lot of shy people and I started attracting a lot of shy guys into the club. And I started learning about the way guys think. Meanwhile, I'm dating like a maniac in New York City, okay, for 10 years. I'm like dating like a literal maniac, like going on multiple dates a week. So I started understanding better the way these shy guys were thinking. And I think because I like related to them because I was also shy and I kind of had like I'm like, "Oh god, like this is wow." Like I didn't understand this because I had all like the female gaze blind spots. I was just seeing I had the hypermasculinity bias. And so when I started seeing these like shy guys, it started all clicking like, "Fuck, I don't know anything about like men." And it all kind of spiraled from there. Like I started trying to help people in the social anxiety group. I was helping the people in the rejection club and I started just learning more and more about men. I started getting more interested in the topic. And then all along, I had this like very intense passion to kind of understand why my dating was going so badly. I had all the female gaze blind spots and it was really painful. Okay. So the more I started learning about the men, the more it all started clicking in my mind. I'm like, oh my God, that's why I went so wrong. Like, oh, what an idiot. I'm such a fucking idiot. Why did I not know this earlier? So it's like the more I learned from you guys about men's psychology, male culture, the truth behind the masks of men or whatever, the more all the confusion in my life just like melts away. Okay, I have a lot more confusion than, but you know what I'm saying? So that's why. Sean says shy equals being hurt for expressing or connecting, and you go introverted and contemplative to try and gain control over the world to avoid hurt. I like that, Sean. That's very good. I mean, I'm trying to think like, was there a moment where I was like really hurt for expressing or connecting? I can't think of any, but I like the theory. And I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. But that's good. Nerds are the same no matter what their chosen hobby is. And being kinky is kind of like being a sexuality nerd. Great point, AH. Like, I agree with that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Because that's kind of true. Like, when I get into a hobby, I like really get into the hobby. Like, I'm into understanding men, right? And I'm like, really into understanding men. Like I'm like studying with my male gaze coach. I'm like questioning everybody constantly. I'm reading all the comments. Yeah, like I'm really into it. And kinky is the same thing. I got into sex and I'm like really into sex. Like I'm just reading everybody's fantasies nonstop. I'm reading tons of books about king. I'm like, let's just max out on this. So you think that's how nerds are? And my boyfriend's kind of the same way in that respect, but with his like chosen hobbies. I like feeling electric says, I really appreciate the content you post. It's been extremely insightful for me. Wow, thank you so much. I like feeling electric. It's really nice. Sean Bissell says you can see others get hurt that you love too and extrapolate. Don't have to be directly hurt. Ooh, that's interesting, Sean. That's very interesting. So why do you think that happens to like some people and not others? Like, because like aren't we all seeing people get hurt, but then why does it like turn into shyness in one person rather than the other? Mania says, hey lady, great to see you live. Thank you for all the confidence that you've given me through your videos. Oh wow, amazing, Mania. It's really nice to hear. Thank you. And then the Juice says, congrats on getting where you are. Thanks, the Juice. I'm kind of probably making it seem like I'm less shy than I actually am, but I did get over a lot, so thanks. Then the 1877 says, I appreciate you expressing that. Wow. Now, why am I forgetting what the 1877? I know I just read your comment, but like, what was it again? The 1877? Oh yeah, you were the one who got me started on that long tangent. The 1877. Yes. Okay, so now you probably know more about me than like anyone. The Juice says, wow, you were very shy. Yes. Uni says, what was the most confusing thing about men? Okay, Unis, I don't know if this might be boring for you guys, but I will tell you, okay? The most confusing thing about men. Well, the number one most confusing thing about men was basically why they did not want relationships like women do. Why were they not thinking about relationships like women were? That's something I don't know if you guys know, but so many women are just assuming about you guys. They're assuming that you have the same female gaze desire for a relationship that women do. So everything's being filtered through that lens. Okay. So let's say, all the texts you send, it's like filtered through this lens. It's like they think you're like a woman and you're thinking like a woman, that you're looking for the one. The one has to be hot, the one has to be good enough, but you're looking for the one. Never in a million years would they like fathom. Well, they kind of fathom it but they just think, oh, that's just fuck boys. Oh, that's just F boys. There's just a certain tiny percentage of men who all they want to do is have sex. Casual sex, all they care about. But they had never imagined like how many men are just like, why would I want a relationship? That's a lot of work. I just want to get good with women. I want to have sexual experiences. I want to have casual sex. I don't want a relationship. How do I reject this girl without crushing her? That would be ideal if I could just have sex with her as quickly and easily as possible and then move on. They never would fathom this in a million years. That's like a mind-blowing, shocking bombshell revelation to them. Like I see so if you just listen to like a typical female gaze, not even female gaze, like a advice given to women podcast or whatever, you will see every single question is like they got this blind spot, they got this blind spot, they got this blind spot, they got this blind spot. It's incredible. So that's one of the biggest blind spots. Paul Cooper says, Victoria, which male musician do you find hot? I find a lot of them hot, but one guy I did find really hot, and you guys are not going to like this. Justin Bieber. I find a lot of like different musicians hot. J-Man455 says, just want to tell you that I love your videos. They're like secret information. Thank you, J-Man. Hedoniche says, is Bieber a dom? He seems like a dom. He definitely seems like a dom. He seems like he's got like a rage inside of them. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen this video of him. I saw it like on TikTok where he comes on stage and he's like really drunk and he's just like singing his heart out. Oh, it was like really, really good. I wish I could like show that to you guys. That wasn't a good explanation, but is Bieber a dom? Yeah, he seems like a dom. So Jim Morrison is very hot. Yes, I seen like the Woodstock. That was Jim Morrison, right? Yeah, he's hot. Yeah. I'm trying to find this video for you guys. Justin Bieber drunk on stage. Yeah, I think it's just TikTok when it says, why does he sing like he's incredibly in pain, drunk singing? He's with the kid Leroy on stage singing Stay with him. Check out that video because that was like really hot. I'd play it, except then this live will get taken down for music. Nani says, yes, Bieber takes some notes from me. What can I say? Lol. I'm sure he does, Nani. Oh, Paul Cooper says, no doors at Woodstock. They were at the Isle of Wight. Okay, yeah. So if you know the Woodstock documentary, who was the guy and he was wearing like this fringe jacket that looks kind of like a bird and he kind of looked a lot like Jim Morrison, but it wasn't him because I'm like, that was just an incredible scene. Do you know who I'm talking about? Paul Cooper says Roger Daltrey. Okay, so who is Roger Daltrey again? Oh, of the Who. Yep, that was him. Yes, that's who it was. For sure. Yeah, that was a really cool scene. Do you know what scene I'm talking about? Paul Cooper? Probably. So why was that scene so cool? Like, that whole documentary was very mind-blowing. I loved it. Crossroads and Cats is Freedom Rock. Well, yeah. So is that like a thing, Crossroads and Cats, like Freedom Rock? Like, is that something I should know about? Paul Cooper, he swings the microphone. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So Jeremy Carpenter says, what's up with all these toxic women that are in their late 40s? So can you describe supposedly these toxic women, Jeremy Carpenter? And Paul says, what's wrong with 24/7 sexual relationship? The best of both sides in like a permanent sexual tornado. You can apply a sexual filter to any activity, makes for an awesome long-term relationship. You know, Paul, that's kind of how my relationship is. I'll be honest with you. Like if you've seen the documentary about, not the documentary, but the TV show about Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, they were kind of in like a 24/7 sexual relationship. And when I saw that movie, like TV show, my boyfriend made me watch it with him. And as we were watching, I was kind of like, this is kind of like the best example of like our relationship. And he agreed. He was like, yeah, I know. That's why I wanted you to see it because they actually remind me of you and me. So it's like not a lot of people have that kind of relationship, but I actually do. And it's really fun. It's very fun. I enjoy it. But I had to kind of train my boyfriend to do a little more emotional stuff because that's important to me too. Ty Smith says Bieber doesn't seem dumb to me at all. Well, I don't know why you'd say that, but I mean, like when he was younger, he wasn't right, but then he had to get like swag coaching from Usher or whatever, and then he became like pretty cool. It's a great question, Superman. I'm kind of scared to answer that question because I'm like scared people will misinterpret it, but I could give you like my opinion, but I don't know if Clara is still on the chat, but what do you think of Superman's question? If you are, I don't know. Okay, so Paul Cooper asked, one question I'd love you to answer if possible. Why do some girls, when they see a guy they like, act hostile? A woman told me that sometimes when a girl likes a guy, she can act hostile. Um, yeah, I mean, they definitely can. I think it's like, okay, here's my opinion. All right. When a girl, Beardo's back. When a girl feels sexual, she starts feeling weak. Okay, when a girl feels attracted to a guy, the submissive feeling takes over. It's kind of like a paralyzing feeling. She feels weak. So, in order to basically keep some level of control, she could put up like a tough front. And it's kind of like hostile is an easy way to kind of seem almost like, I'm an equal to you guy. I'm not just going to like submit and just melt into like a puddle on the floor. So by acting hostile, you can kind of like retain some dignity. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause you're like, I'm not a melting puddle inside, I'm still like a alpha female. You know what I mean? So I think it's a lot of that. Um, and also it can kind of like be triggering in a way because a lot of women are like, oh, I hate men and everything, and men are bad. And so when they like a guy, they internally they're feeling the opposite, like, oh my god, this guy is so hot, he's so amazing, or whatever. And so they're like, "Get it together, girl." And they can kind of turn mean as like a defense, almost like a self-protection defense. Do you know what I mean, Paul Cooper? So, and also another thing is a lot of women tell women as dating advice that men love bitches. Men like it. And some men really do seem to like it. Okay, it works really well for some girls. They're just like mean as fuck to these guys, and the guys just eat it up. I can't pull it off well, but I've seen some girls who can pull it off really well. So some girls actually think it might help. Like that's kind of their flirting game, their flirting strategy. You know what I mean, Paul? You are welcome, Paul. Freedom Fox One says, if that's the response to attraction, that's a red flag to me. Freedom Fox One, I'm going to be a little bit harsher on you. I'm going to give you a truth bomb. That's a low level response. All right. I was talking about this with Valhalla earlier. Yes, he's saying shit testing. She wants to test you to see if, okay, you don't want to be scared of a challenge. You don't want to have so little game that if the girl pushes back just a little, and you could call that shit test or whatever you want, but you don't want to be so kind of like, you know, Oh no, you challenged me? No, you did not. I am an alpha dom. No woman crosses me, because the real alpha doms, they're like brat tamers. Okay? They're not going to be afraid of the challenge. They're going to have a good comeback ready. They're going to roll with the punches. They're going to find it amusing. They're not going to be threatened. They're not going to be, thrown off their frame or whatever by the shit test, whatever way you want to call it. All right? They're just going to roll with the punches. Like my boyfriend, he's fucking amazing at coming up with comebacks and whatever. And he would just find it cute. He would find it funny. He wouldn't be threatened by her. He wouldn't say, "Oh, you're threatening my role as a man." He would just be like, "I'm man enough for the both of us. So I don't care if you want to put up a little, fist or whatever." Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want you guys to get to, this kind of point where you're not just like, "What? How dare you? No woman treats me like that. You must act submissive from the start. Submit to me or nothing." It's like, if you're so dominant, then why are you so threatened by a girl who's putting up a little bit of resistance? You know what I mean? You don't want to be a man who comes across as beta, because the second a woman tries to act just a little bit, pushback, masculine, whatever you want to call it, you're like running the other direction with your tail between your legs. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, kid says, "Bro, why be disrespectful? That ain't right, because that's a foreshadowing for how you treat me." Yeah, see, this is kind of like the beginner's mindset, okay, kid, because it's like this is what guys are afraid of. Like, oh, well, when we get into a relationship, she'll be disrespectful again and I won't be able to handle it. Well, certain guys are able to handle it. They just deflect it easy. It's like water off a duck's, not even water off a duck's back, but it's like a game of ping pong. It's fun. It's a game. It's silly. It's playful. You're not threatened. You're not challenged. You're not thrown off. It's fun. So it can seem disrespectful for a guy who doesn't know how to handle the disrespect, but another guy could come in, handle the disrespect, and it's cute. It's cute to him. And then she's like, "Now that's a real man, because he knows how to handle me." It's just like some guys, it's like a lot of women have this saying, I'm too much woman for him to handle, right? Well, that's kind of how it seems. It's like some guys, they just, they can't handle it. You know what I mean? So level up. All right. So what do you mean by like a girl tripping? Like, what's the definition of that exactly? Like, what would you like? What's an example of that? Okay, kid. Says if she's too soft, she might be boring. Yes, like that's the way women want you to think. Like if you're not masculine enough to handle her when she's a little bit aggressive, she's like, what kind of man is that? I mean, how are you going to be more masculine than other men? So Evie, I'm seeing this. Victoria, are you not seeing my messages? I sent you a lot of texts. Are they not going through? And then it's not that difficult. Reward good behavior, punish bad behavior. And Victoria, aren't you seeing my texts? So those are the things I am seeing. So level 8 says, Vic, can you read my super chat? Uh-oh. Level 8, I'm very sorry. I missed your super chat. This is not good. And I'm looking for it right now. Oh, fuck. I hate myself. Level 8. Yes. I missed it. I'm so sorry. And I honestly, guys, please, if you ever super chat me and then I miss it, I feel so bad. So please just spam me in the bottom of the chat and let me know, because I would hate if I like missed this. I mean, that would suck on my part. So thank you, level 8. And thank you so much for your super chat. Okay. Now, let me read your question. So, would you just recommend to be direct to a woman if you want to shag rather than pretending to go down the relationship route? Creepy, if not alpha. So, yes. Okay. But here's the thing. You don't have to, yes, you want to be honest. Okay. But the thing is, you don't have to say this if you don't want until she asks. Okay, this is how most guys do it. Okay? If she says, like, "What are you looking for?" You could just say, like, "I'm not really sure yet. I'm just, like, looking for a spark, and I'm looking to see what develops." I mean, maybe that's a little dishonest if you actually do know, "Okay, I'm not looking for anything." My boyfriend had a good way to say this, which was just something like, "It depends, I'm willing to, like, see how each relationship develops individually," or something like that. He said it a little better, but it was basically that idea of, you know, I don't know. Because if I met, like, my dream girl, obviously I would want to, like, be in a relationship. So it kinda just leaves that when he comes back, I'm gonna, ask him exactly what he said again because I forgot, but you could basically say anything along these lines, but it's just you leave it open if she'd ask you directly. However, once you've hooked up or whatever, I don't know, is this too dishonest? Maybe, one of you guys has a better way to say it, but basically this is what all the guys did with me, okay, when I was dating. First of all, it never comes up. Okay? It might come up like, "What are you looking for?" on the first date or whatever. And then the guy might they kinda say something vague. They just kinda say like, just a connection." I mean, I guess that's a good thing to say. They say something like that, like, "Just a connection." "I'm not sure. I just, like, take everything individually. I take it as it comes." Like, they just kinda say some vague, ambiguous stuff like that, if directly asked. If not, they don't even mention it. Okay? Then they're just doing the escalation. You hook up with them, let's say, and then let's say you keep seeing them as, like, a friend with benefit situation, and then usually it's, like, the woman who would, if you really like them, would kinda say, "Okay, what are we?" And then that's when they say, "Yeah, I'm not looking for anything." And maybe, Valhalla, I was talking to him earlier, maybe you have a different way you handle it, but that's basically what all the guys I hooked up with did with me. They didn't mention it, and if asked, they said something, like, ambiguous, but honest. But the woman's kinda reading into it, because she's got a lot of blind spots there. And then, you just hook up and you could, like, stay in touch or whatever, and you could text and hook up again, but they don't say, at that point, you could if it comes up, but it's just most of them, I think pretty much all of them did not say what they wanted one way or another. So, yeah. The thing is, a lot of guys, they try to be just too direct too soon and it just like blows it. But, maybe you have a way of, I don't know, we'll see if anyone has a better way of doing it. But it's not dishonest to just not bring it up. Or if you have like a really high standard of honesty, maybe like right before you're about to have sex, you can basically be like, "Listen, I'm just, like, not looking for anything right now, but you're so fucking sexy, and I can't wait till I think you're, like, an amazing person. I'm having so much fun with you, and I really wanna, like, continue this, but I just want you to know." That would be, like, impeccable honesty. Do you know what I mean? And at that point, there's a good chance she'd kind of be like, "Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Let's fuck," because you guys already had, like, built the chemistry up until that bedroom point. What a lot of guys try to do is, like, literally in the messages on an online dating app, right? Like, "Hello, my lady. I am not looking for anything serious, but I would love to exchange a lovely orgasm with you," or whatever. And it's like, "No, thank you. I'm not going to get dressed for that." Do you know what I mean? So does that make sense, level 8? And let me know, is that dishonest in your guys' opinion? I'm just saying that's what they do. Paul says, so level 8, did that make sense to you? I'm curious. Paul says, even though an intense, devoted, loyal, heavier 24/7 relationship, you still need an understanding or a way to connect or a way to communicate, gentleness. Sometimes that can be shut off, causing sudden, intense issues. Well, I absolutely agree. Like, that's how it is in my relationship too. Like, we got a lot of crazy sex going on, but we also have like a lot of, I don't know if it's a lot, but we have definitely a lot of gentleness, and we have talks, emotional talks, and like a very soft skills kind of way for sure. So I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, Paul, but yeah, I agree. Hello, Yuvraj. So, okay, kid, just because you have respect for yourself and don't let a female go out of pocket, that don't diminish your masculinity. Don't put your perspective on everyone else. Okay. I'm not saying don't have respect for yourself, okay? Because, like, that's important too. But I just think this is like a really typical mistake guys make. And maybe we're just thinking of different situations or whatever. But, I just see this mistake constantly on my channel. And I don't think it's very good. But I agree. You want to have respect for yourself. And, if you don't know how to kind of deflect her disrespect, then there's nothing you can do. I mean, you have to just stick up for yourself. So, yeah, but I'm just saying maybe you could learn some of the skills to like kind of play with it, vibe with it, pass the shit test. You know what I'm saying? But I agree. If you don't know how to do that, then yeah, just have respect for yourself, like you're saying. Schmidt says, do women actually get the ick from super nice guys? Yeah. Because here's the thing, okay? The ick, what is the ick? It's this feeling of you're acting too feminine, basically. You're acting feminine. So are super nice guys acting masculine? Not usually. Okay? The nice stuff is good, but they're lacking like the masculine stuff. So yeah, they will. I mean, if he's super nice and he's got a lot of other like, he's really good looking and he's got good, alpha Chad Dom skills, then no, they're not going to get the ick from this guy. But if you're just super nice in the way most guys are super nice, which is that's all they know how to do, or they've convinced themselves that's what you should do and nothing more, and never move a finger out of the super nice box, then yeah, that's going to be ick material because it's like not like there's this square, right? And a square of like super niceness. Nowhere in the square is what women are sexually attracted to. There's nowhere in that square. So yeah, they're going to be making the woman is going to get icked because she's like, why can't he be the guy that I'm sexually attracted to? Please be my fantasy Dom, please. M says, distinguish between nice or kind. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, kind is good with all the other stuff I mentioned that attract women, masculinity, alpha, Chad, Dom, whatever. And nice is good with all that stuff too. They're both good with the stuff that creates sexual attraction. But niceness or kindness on its own, where is the sexual attraction? Where is the female gaze sexuality in that? Nice or kind, and then what? Nice or kind, And then when's he a dom? When's he a little bit of a dom? When? If he's just nice or kind, it's just, okay, what's coming next? When are we going to get to the sex? When are you going to show me what you can do in bed sexually? Nicer kindness is not going to create liftoff. You know what I'm saying? Nicer kindness is good, just kind of prepping the soil or whatever, but then when's the flower going to grow? Like, come on now. All right, guys, I'm getting a little tired. I'm getting a little exhausted. I'm just kind of like blah, 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 blah. So, oh no, Jeremy Carpenter, not this again. Women don't know what the hell they want. Come on. You're fucking kidding me, right? I've been fucking telling you what they want, and you're still saying, women don't know what the hell they want. Really? Really? Could you do better, Jeremy Carpenter? Come on now. Nani says, has anybody in this chat read She Comes First by Ian Kerner? Great book. I recommend you guys read She Comes First by Ian Kerner. Like I've told Nani before, I have read another book by Ian Kerner, and it was a fucking great book. That's his later, more recent book. And I read She Comes First, but I kind of was like more reading parts of it when I'm like really young, because I found it in like my parents' bathroom, and I'm reading it. But yeah, I would like to reread it, and I recommend you guys also read it, because he knows what he's talking about. He's a great sexual scientist. Big Gooba says, how come when a girl likes you but you don't give them attention, they try to make you jealous? Because it's brilliant. It's brilliant, all right? Making guys jealous works like a charm, so why wouldn't they do it? It works very well. The second the guys feels, oh, there's competition, they're like, oh, fuck, I messed up. Let me, like, try to get her back. It works very well. Debate 304 says, better go on a cold approach on a slower day, weekend, or a Friday night. I'll definitely do it on the weekend, where women are more looking for, or, you know, dating. But you could practice any day if you want, but yeah, I think the weekends are very good. All right, guys. Well, I really got to go. So, Patrick G says, your female perspective is very insightful. It's nice to hear the truth from the other side. Oh, no, not that, Patrick G. Not that freaking truth comment, but thanks for the first part. Big Goober says, do you think tats are a destruction of women's natural beauty, or that they are masculine? No, I do not, Big Goober, because, like, just to each his or her or their own. Like, just let people do what they want to do, and just, if you don't like tats, you do not have to date a girl with tats, but please, just let them live. Good night, AH. Goodbye, Paul. Freedom Fox 1 says, yeah, guys don't respond to jealousy the way women expect. Yeah, they do. They do. I think it's a male blind spot. Prince Selby says, how often do you go live, Vic? Pretty much random times whenever I feel like it. Whenever I'm bored. Be the Christmas miracle says, non-leather, if you please. Would you mind reading my question before you go, please? Well, I don't know where it is, but... Oh, okay. Is there a timeline on when to move forward after loving someone for so long? Well, what do you mean by move forward? Do you mean just like break up? Or become boyfriend and girlfriend or what? Okay, D, maybe that's not how you see it, but I don't know. I've seen it work miracles. Says Stoke Stream Victoria, way not to react. Wow, thanks, you really gave me a wonderful compliment there because you have no idea. I've been struggling because I get like the most annoying comments and then I'm struggling. I'm like, Victoria, pull back, step away from the keyboard. Please close the computer and step away. So I've been working on it. And sometimes I'll like write a really mean comment back and then I delete it because I'm like, no, we don't say that. So yeah, it's hard for me not to react. So thank you, Good night, Valhalla. Thank you for your wonderful contributions to the chat tonight. We all learned a lot from your advice. Hello, James Boyden. Do women seek similar advice somewhere? Yes, they do. You ever heard of Sheer 7? They're seeking advice there, for sure. The Christmas Miracle says, we broke up a year ago and I don't know when is a good time to let myself find love again. The time was 1 year ago, be the Christmas Miracle. The time was literally 1 year ago. Yes, it is time. Why? Life is short, be the Christmas Miracle. Why are you waiting 1 whole year? I can't believe this. Oh. Beardos getting lucky in poker. All right, guys. Well, I'm really going to go this time. All right, guys. Once again, I am asking you guys to look smacks. And yeah, guys, even I'm going to be doing some look smaxing. Yeah, I'm done with the authenticity maxing. And now moving on to looks maxing. I bought some makeup. Oh no, but you guys all hate makeup, so how will that work? And yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And so like I said, I'm once again asking you all to look smacks. I want you to do one thing to improve your appearance. And then send me a picture of it. Okay? Maybe you get a hairpiece. Maybe you get colored contacts that make your eyes pop. Maybe you get your eyebrows professionally shaped. Who knows? You have to do an analysis of your own face and see what works well on you. Maybe you get a haircut because you got a lot of hair, but it's like not looking great. You really get a real haircut. Maybe you just analyze what facial hair looks best on your face. Maybe you buy a completely new outfit that a girl who you think is really hot approves and is like, yeah, that's fucking sexy. That's what I would want my boyfriend to wear. Okay? Maybe you start going to the gym and working out. Maybe you dye your hair. Maybe you start using the Jazzerciser. A guy I met with was saying that it actually really works for him. Okay? And you start working on your jawline. Maybe you go on a diet or what? Oh, I don't want to be promoting diet culture. What am I saying? Well, maybe for you guys it's easier to lose weight than it is for a lot of women, but maybe it's not. And just fucking forget what I just said. But, sometimes if you can lose weight, like the jawline can pop more. but you don't have to do that. Well, anyway, maybe you can do one of those things, all right? Maybe you can start a skincare routine. What else could you do? I don't know. The possibilities are endless, all right? Maybe you could start working on your dirty talk. I mean, that's not really looks maxing. So, what am I saying? All right, let's just focus on looks maxing, guys. But anyway. Alrighty. Goodbye, everybody. Great stream, James Boyd says. Thank you, James. Level 8 says, go to the gym, Raphael. Paul says, good to see your bright face. Stay well. Thanks, Paul. Be the Christmas Miracle says, she was the love of my life. We were together for 6 years. Thank you. I am sorry, Be the Christmas Miracle. Okay, that's rough, but you deserve to love again, all right? For Christmas. D-Bait says, don't do makeup. That's what you guys all say, and yet you love it. And that's what you all deny till your dying day, yet you love it. But anyway. So Nani says, I sent you a video of my looks max transformation, well haircut transformation. Amazing, Nani. Now, I'm going to have to look through my emails there in case I am forgetting this transformation or if it's a new thing. So I'll see that. Now, alrighty. Tyke Smith says, oh, you don't have to look, Max Victoria. You are perfect. Oh, natural. Lol. Thank you so much, Tig, for speaking to the female gaze. Very well done. You get an A+ for that. You passed my shit test. Or did you? All right. Well, John Paradise says, tell them to go vegan, Victoria. Oh my God, how could I have forgot that, John? Thank you for reminding me. 100%. You could go vegan. That helps a lot. I talked to John Paradise about this, and we both agreed. Helps you look young, helps your skin look amazing, not to mention saving the animals and making a stand for animal liberation. Not to mention many other health improvements. So, wasn't my best promotion of veganism, John, but I'm a little tired. But yes, that's huge. That's how I looked maxed. That's how I became a stripper. I went raw vegan, and I fucking looked incredible. Now I'm just vegan, but maybe I'll go raw vegan again. You never know. So, all right, guys, peace out, everyone. Thank you so much for all your super chats, and have a wonderful night. And don't forget to say. Oh wait, before I go, text me email me my nonlinearlife@gmail.com. Consultations. I charge $60. Okay, I'm just being upfront with the price for you guys, so you know. And we could talk about whatever you want to talk about. We could talk about your looks maxing. We could talk about anything, doming, dirty talk, whatever. Well, not like we're gonna do you and me dirty talk, but I could help you improve your dirty talk. You know what I'm saying? So Nani says, "Oh, I'm going to Texas to visit my best friend. He's vegan, so I'll be a interesting week." Oh, amazing, Nani. Tell me how you like it. In the beginning, it can be a little difficult because like the vegan food is so much less calorically dense. But yeah, I'll be really interested to know how you feel because some people feel an immediate change. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys once again so much, Nani. Thank you so much for that super chat. I forgot if I just said thank you or not, but you're amazing. Goodbye, everyone. Peace out.